Take 3, I had barking dogs. Okay. During the Vietnam War, there's an interesting movie. It's called The Men Who Stare at Ghosts. And this is how this research started. And they became interested in the application of spirituality, all these kind of things, magic, into warfare. And the research wasn't useful for warfare, but they had some interesting psychological evaluations they were able to gain from it. And a lot of this moved into psychology and the psychology of warfare. But there was a sect of people within it that were very interested in experimenting on other people. They no longer had soldiers in the Vietnam War to experiment on. And they moved over to the CIA. And the mutations and genetic research and brainwashing and all this research on the queer population began in the 80s. And they released HIV, which is one of the things they did. But on the other hand, they did so we wouldn't have any old queer people. We don't have an old queer population. There's no old people to look like. I can't go and find some old gay man and ask him, or some old trans woman. There's not many. They're all killed. And a big part of this is this MK Ultra program they wanted to initiate. And this started when they started experimenting extremely on queer people. And the derivatives of this are a lot of genetic research on humans. And the other one would be queer conversion camps, the control and brainwashing of people. These two researchers fall hand in hand. And when MK Ultra program was disbanded in America in the 80s, Australia was a prime place for these people to move to. So the CIA disbanded this program and disavowed it, yet all scientists and people involved, they left the CIA, but they were given a budget and all that research to go elsewhere. They wanted to continue the work. The control of the human population and the forced evolution of humans, which is very silly. But they do it anyway. There's a lot of people, I really hate mitochondrial researchers. Mitochondria is something very ancient in us, energy producing. It is a thing that's going to help us convert things into energy. And there's a lot of people just fucking with the mitochondria. It's called the might of chondria. But they do it. The might of slow and depression. Whoever named it was very smart. If you think about the word, it's always a word in science. It's the power of slowdown in a way. That whoever discovered the mitochondria and how it works foresaw this. And they go, when people are going to slow down, get depressed, humans not going anywhere, but just the mitochondria will step in. And either way, it's going to fuck with us. Fucking with the mitochondria. It's like one way or the other. So this research really centers around a lot of these things. And since the 80s and MK Ultra, and it's just rapidly disgusting what they do to people. And they like to fuck around in GMO babies and all these weird things. And there's so many of us these days, I'm all adults. And the most interesting conversation I've had with a doctor, I was just telling him about my body and how it works, etc., etc. I'm like, it's just the way people react to me. I'm treated like I'm subhuman. I don't have a choice. People just want to hurt me because I exist. And that's how they've made me. And it's disgusting. And he goes, well, you are subhuman. I go, thanks. So in EnviroScience at a uni like this, they like to discount evidence. And EnviroScience has been critically smashed by the rest of the community because we're getting this point in EnviroScience where EnviroScientists don't want to fucking study anything. They get evidence that advances a theory. They're just going to kill it. They're just weird. They get told they're not scientists, and I agree. Because I have these discussions in the medical field. They go, oh, can you show me your evidence? I show them the evidence. Then we work on the theory. And they call me Dr. Freya. It's good fun. And I've made some advancements. Whereas at Murdoch, I can't even fucking graduate because I'm too busy trying to, not give me student housing, not giving me my scholarship, not let me access anything. It's like they slow down the research because it challenges that field. And it advances it to the point where it's this field that just wants to suck mining money off the tip. And is choosing not to advance to continue getting this mining money. And because of that, they're told they're not scientists, and I agree. And that's why I've been given this new title, medical botanist, because I sit in both fields. I just don't agree with EnviroScience. It's become stagnant. I just see students, they'll do a study, and they have a whole mass of outliers. And they don't think to make 2 separate regression curves and challenge the theory with weak confidence based on peer review evidence, just discounting it, but raising the points still, because that's what their data shows. They just delete all the points and erase them. And it's just a problem with students at the base. They just don't want to do anything. They just want to pull weeds. Did I go to uni for 4 fucking years just to pull weeds? That makes no sense. You can pull weeds without a degree. Yet everybody's just stuck pulling weeds. It's a stupid field. It's like, you know what? I'm interested in the fact I could buy a Harmonizer with a Scout Bee, and then this weird thing happens, another Scout Bee comes back, and I feel like I get reset. I'm like, I just lost control of the bees I took over. That's fun, let's keep doing that. And I fuck around with it, and then suddenly I'm making friends with animals. Dr. Dolittle. You don't have to do much to study. Just look at something interesting. Like, you can harmonize with things. So I could get the right harmonic to be asking a plant for air. Pretty simple. It's how plants communicate with each other. But people won't even get that far in it. They're just idiots.